Nicole here. How are you? Are you well? I hope you're well. I'm well. Um, I wanted to pop on to talk about. Well, today's the last day. Let me adjust this. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Today is the last day of 2022. What is it? 11:26 when I'm filming this. Uh, well, I do feel like I had a crazy year. Um, a lot of change. Um, I think I kind of made this year like with the goal of like working on stability for myself, like financial stability and all stability really. Mostly so that I could have a baby, but I don't know if I want to have a baby. I think I do. I mean, I do want to have a baby. I definitely do sometime in my life. But uh like lately I've been reflecting on that and not so sure. Maybe it's because of Toby. Toby is a lot to take care of for me. He's a handful and he's still not potty trained, and I'm a little insecure about him not being potty trained yet because I'm like, is it because I'm not giving you enough attention? Do I not watch you enough? Because we still have lots of accidents and I'm not watching your cues. I'm sorry, baby Toby. Oh no, Toby, don't natural select yourself with the wire. Okay, so yeah, baby Toby, it's been a handful. So I'm like, do I want to have a baby? But that's not really what I came to talk about. I wanted to talk about I wanted to make a vision board through this platform for myself on 2023 and like my future. So time to make a vision board and think like what are my wildest dreams and what do I want to come true, even if they're unrealistic. So okay, what do I want? Um, I want to be. I want to have a really nice house that has a lot of land around it. And I want it to feel comfortable and like home to me. And I want to have lots of windows and natural light. I want there to be indoor plants all over the place. I want there to be an island with a beautiful kitchen um, where I can cook. I want the kitchen to I want the house to have one of those houses that has like an outdoor feel to it, like the outdoors are inside, but it's enclosed. I would like it to be on a lake so I could go swimming and have a boat and go boating, just scoot around in a little tiny boat that I have that I can just scoot around in. Um, yeah, with lots of trees and nature all around me. And I don't, I can't visibly see my neighbors from my house, anywhere in my house. I would really like that. Um, and I want it to be filled with like nice art that I make, and I want to be an artist. I want to be able to support myself with art. I want to have a husband. I want to, I would like my husband to be my twin flame. Not to get too spiritual on you, but well, I mean, this is my journal, so I can say whatever I want, I guess. I would like to live and be married to my twin flame, if possible, and if in the highest good of all. So I'll just take that to God and trust God as much as I can. Um, I want to be able to play. I want to spend my time playing, like the majority of my time playing, which I guess I can do even without all those things because everything is play, isn't it? One thing that I've struggled with and like it's really come to light in the last like 4 years is that I don't play. Like I don't when I'm with I can play by myself and I like can play with some people when I really trust them or when I think that the potential for them to hurt me is like really low, then I can play with them and be more myself. But like this has had okay, to dive into like psychology a little bit, this has had an effect on my life and an impact where I notice that a lot of my friends aren't people. Ugh, I don't know if I want to say this out loud on YouTube because then my friends are going to see this. If you're my friend and you know me, I really value you a lot and I need you and I love you. Um, so don't take what I'm about to say to heart because there is a connection there. But there's a missing piece to me that is that like I don't make friends with people that I actually like um, or haven't for most of my life. at all. I'm very I'm just very on guard. I'm very on guard, and so I don't play the way that I naturally would with people. And so I noticed that like a lot of my friends aren't playful people, but I am a very playful person. And so um yeah, I've noticed this in me and like the patterns, and I'm sorry that I'm not more playful. Like I feel the earth, I feel the world knocking at my door and like and asking me to come out and play, and I can't ignore it anymore, and I never wanted to ignore it. But yeah, I don't I'm very shy. I can be anyways. And I hope that like well, anyways, I just really want to come out and play and have a good time because what I'm the most passionate about is having a good time. And I actually really think that that is kind of like the main purpose of life, or at least my life, is to have a good time and experience beauty and to get to know yourself in all ways. Um, so, and there's a lot of beauty around all around me. And I want there to continue to be more and more beauty and excellence. I want everything to be beautiful. I want us to develop land in a beautiful way with beauty as the main priority. I want boulevards. I want as many boulevards as we could possibly fit into our cities. I want live music, as much live music as possible. I want a lot of different art galleries and coffee shops and places where you can just hang out without spending a lot of money. I want children to be like more in adult spaces. I love children. Children are so innocent, they're so authentically themselves. It's really like children are just very magical, and I want even when they're screaming and having a tantrum, they're still very magical. When I see children having tantrums out and about, I always like laugh to myself because I'm like, yeah, that child knows. That child knows. There's wisdom in the tantrum. There really is. And they know it. And I know it. They're like, I feel hungry or I want candy or whatever it is that's upsetting them. Yeah, the world is a scary place. And Maslow's hierarchy of needs turns out to be quite the challenge to meet those needs. And unmet needs gone unmet for too long. That's rough. Rough waters, God. Could be rough waters there. In fact, I guarantee it. Um, okay, so back to my vision board. Ah, this puts me in such a better mood to like do the visioning. Um, I want to have friends over at this lovely house of mine a lot, like on a weekend basis at least. Maybe a little, well, yeah, weekend basis. I still need my alone time, but like a weekend basis. And I want to have like drinks, and I want to have plant ceremonies at my house. I want to share the beauty and art. I want to have art classes and studios. Like, I want to have a giant room that is completely full of windows where I can work on art with other people. I want to have dogs, like maybe one or two dogs in my house. A cat's fine too. Definitely animals. I wouldn't mind having some chickens too, in like a little chicken coop outside if it was, yeah, yeah, I think I could have that as long as there's no predators, right? I think that should be fine. I don't know a lot about taking care of chickens. I want to have a really awesome audio system with a turntable and lots of records that I can play and put on for myself. Um, and I always want healthy food. Like maybe I could, well, I can cook. I like to cook, but I don't know as much as I would like to know about cooking. So I want to learn more about cooking and how to cook healthy food and always have like a really clean fridge that I wouldn't even mind having a fridge that you can see through. Um, so you don't have to open it. to see what's in it. Anyways, I would like a fridge that has healthy food in it all the time for me to eat and my family to eat. I want to have children in my house. I want to have children with a husband who is loving and supportive and that we can mainly play together. I want to play with my husband. I want to playmate. I really want to playmate. Oh, the loneliness. I mean, looking back on my life, there has been a lot of loneliness. And the story of Adam and Eve really resonates with me because, well, at one time in my life, somebody gave me the fruit of knowledge and I ate it up and it tasted good. And then I realized all this spiritual stuff. And I think I've always been a spiritual person and connected to that in some deep way that I notice and I'm aware of. Like when I was 7 or 6, I was like 6 in like a little sermon for children at this club my mom sent me to. And they were telling, it was the first time I'd heard the story of Moses. And God is like, okay, so the sermon goes like, the message was like, God goes to the mountain. I don't know, like, no, Moses goes to the mountain and he sees the burning bush, and the burning bush talks to him, and like the burning bush was God, right? Coming to Moses to deliver a message, or it was an angel. And I was so jealous. I was jealous. I was like, why, God, are you not coming and talking to me one to one personally? Um, that was my 6-year-old take on that. I was like, does God like Moses more than he likes me? What is this? I really wanted God to come. I wanted to hear the voice of God. Um, so I think that in some way, fate is maybe real and that there is something to fated things happening in your life. Maybe you agreed to it beforehand. And I'm kind of like, I really do kind of think that, like, when I look back on me as a person in my childhood, I'm like, oh, there were a lot of signs or foreshadowings. You could just call, you could always make the argument that my exposure to different art and messages made me more likely to be down with trying psychedelics. That is like a logical, rational viewpoint on that. I think there's truth there. But I also think that on the grander, like larger scheme of like all of humanity and a collective consciousness and like who I am, I think it was fated. And like I remember watching the BFG and they're like drinking these potions and blasting off, and I was like, that was always like the best, like the favorite part. And there are lots of, in children's entertainment, there are a lot of references to drugs like all over the place. And yeah, I don't know, like it was always my favorite part, like Alice in Wonderland. Thumbs up, like I loved it. It was great. DFG, loved it. All those things have a lot of references to psychedelics. Even Ponyo, which is a more recent. I wasn't a child when I watched that, but even that, like you see the wizard guy drinking potions, and you're like, like when you do psychedelics, you're kind of like, oh, can't con a con. I know what you're doing there. Not that I'm encouraging anyone to do drugs or just live your life. I don't know. This, like, my YouTube channel is not advice. I want to cover my base there. It's not advice, and it's just me and my life and sharing my life with the world, because actually that is a huge part of my own soul journey in this lifetime, is for me to come out and play. And this is one of the ways I do it. And I'm trying to get myself to do it more and more in like every moment of my life so that I can be me, the art of being you, so that I can be me. So thank you, YouTube. And thank you, 2022. Like, rough year. I'm not gonna lie, it was a really rough year, but thank you for all the blessings, because there were a lot of blessings there too. And another year through, I'm glad. I'm excited for what 2023 has to show me and offer me and what I can show and offer it. And I want to step up to that year and be everything that I can be. I want to reach my potential too. Like, go back to the vision board. I really want to, I think that's like one of my deepest fears, is that like I have some potential that I'm not going to reach. Um, I used to have this dream. So I used to have this dream that I was in this beautiful mansion, and in my dream world, I knew it was my mansion, that it was mine. And it was very like Art Deco and in a giant city, like in the heart of a giant city. And it was so big. It's like at least 6 stories tall, maybe bigger. And there's like this area within like the center part of the house where there's like this giant staircase that just like is kind of crazy and leads to all the different levels of the floor. And there's always ghosts like in each of the different rooms. There's like different ghosts or demons or monsters. They're not really evil or bad. They're just sort of like things there that I face sometimes, and then sometimes I'm a bit too scared to face them. And then there's always this one room that I could never go in. Like I just would never go in there. I couldn't like I wanted to try and get there. I was always trying to get there, but I couldn't get there. Somehow I'd like wake up beforehand or the dream would change or something would distract me in my dream that changed the narrative. And so I wasn't in the room that I wanted to go and see. And I think that like I've thought a lot about that dream that I've had. I've had that dream more than once, like at least 3 or 4 times. And I think that like that dream to me represents my potential in the realms of music, um, and entertainment. I think I'm definitely more of a performer. I like performing. It is when I feel the most like at home within myself, is when I'm playing piano, when I'm singing, and when I'm free. Like I allow myself, when I free myself up to be there in the moment in dance or in art or in comedy and like in some way performing. And I'm really scared like of performing. I'm not scared of the performance, or and I'm not necessarily even scared of the rejection or how it will be received. I'm scared of letting my guard down because when you're performing, like you're really in it. Like I'm really, really in it, and my soul's there and everything. And like when I'm in it, I'm not paying attention to the outside world. And so like I'm not going to be when I'm performing, I'm not aware of any dangers that may exist around me. And so like that's what keeps me from performing, is that I'm scared of the dangers around me. And so I've learned all of this about myself. And yeah, it's like thank you God and the universe for supporting me and helping me to learn and grow. And thank you to myself for sharing this on like this artistic journey that I'm on. I remember one time meditating and I was concerned about the problems of the world, like climate change and like potential for war and all these like scary, scary things and politics. You know, it's very scary when we have political leaders that make big decisions that do impact our day-to-day life and we have no say over it, kind of like land development. Like in my city recently, they're demolishing a huge part of this mall that is like it has a lot of fond memories and a lot of, and I insert like, I don't keep my memories in my head, I insert them into like objects. So like it's sad to me that this building is going to be gone and it's going to be demolished starting February. And like they're gonna build a lot of condos and it'll take like 10 years or something. So like I think like my point is not that it's wrong to do that. Land changes. Things are always changing and evolving, and there's beauty even in that. Although of course I will miss what was once there, but it's there's still beauty. Nothing lasts forever, and that's what it is. But there's a lot of stress and like it is a scary thing to live in a society that we're part of, that we for the most part, I feel this way. I don't have a lot of control over what happens or how my city is developed. um, and I care so much about beauty and excellence, and so like I'm frightened by that. And so like there's a lot of like stressors, and I was thinking of all these stressors that were happening, um, like climate crisis and politics and feeling a lack of power and like this lack mentality, and just like really wondering how do you, and like how, if you wanted to change the world, okay, well I guess it starts with like changing something, like being the change you want to see. People say that, I think there's truth there, but like I was thinking more in like practical terms. Like do I go into politics and try and be a political leader? Do I try and go into law and be a lawyer? Do I, and like I've thought, like I seriously considered all these different avenues. um and like what how I want to like use my life. Um, because I think at the fundamental basis of like what I'm talking about right now is that I believe, and I don't think I'm wrong, I really believe this deeply that like I'm passionate about having a good time. I want to have a good time and I want to feel safe enough to do it. So, in order for me to have a good time, I think the best way for me to do that is in a way that's sustainable and long lasting is to make sure that you have a good time too. So, like, basically, what I'm saying is making sure that everyone's needs are met. How do you do that? I mean, I've taken a case study look at like all these different cults and socialism. I see problems. I don't know how to get around them. There's so many obstacles there. Um, Capitalism is not an evil force. It's just a force that needs to be balanced out with socialism. And I don't think we're doing a great job of balancing those forces out. Socialism and capitalism are our best friends on the playground of life. And so I'm like, how do you okay, so like I can give you a concrete example, and I know this is like a tangent to my vision board. I'm gonna come back to my vision board, but like it's part of it because I think about this a lot. So how do you I think the main crux of the issue with land development is this, and I hope that somebody, whoever needs to see this or fated to see this, sees it because I think this is an important point. Um, but the crux of it is this: you need to make social value um, like you need to somehow incentivize social value to developers so that they do build beautiful subdivisions or beautiful condos or build beautiful cities. And it has to do with policy and planning, and these things are very hard to understand and they're very boring. I've tried to read it, I've tried to understand, and it's very boring. um but it's so important and it trickles down into your day-to-day life. So um how do I make social value incentivized? um like how do I get other people on board with that? How do I influence people who have power, that have the power to do that? How do I get them to do that? Or how do I get everyone on board with that? Like how do we do that? Like how do we incentivize social value in a way that works, that's sustainable, that makes sense for everyone? um I don't know. And social value is like the beauty of the beauty of your city. The social value is things that bring community together, that make us stronger, that provide spaces for collaboration. Like third spaces are so important. Spaces that aren't your home, aren't your work, but you can go and meet people and form communities in real life. The internet, I guess, is kind of like a third space, but I don't find that I am so driven towards the internet. I have a lot of mixed feelings about YouTube. I have mixed feelings about the internet, definitely. It's a realm. It's not my favorite realm to be in. Although I'm here and I've permanently put myself in the internet on purpose for the magic of it, to talk to the human collective and to make sure that I'm immortal. So I will always be on the internet. Holla. Um, so it's my own way of making my own magic. And yeah, hello, I will always be here, even though actually the me that is me. Well, this is part of me. This is like the me that you are seeing right now that I'm talking to you. This is part of me and it will always be here. And I think that's fascinating. Um, so welcome to me. But what am I saying with land development? Okay, so like I really went down like the political and I got really overwhelmed, and I've had different stints within different like realms of people and midwifery and politics and engineering and universities and psychologists and lawyers and like oh my gosh, I have explored extensively as much as I possibly could. I tried to explore while not completely digging myself into a financial hole. Some of those things cost money, like midwifery costs a lot of money to try and become a midwife. And I was like, I want to be a midwife because midwives are the pillar of societies. Um, maybe that was a naive idea. I don't think it was naive. I think that it was a beautiful idea. But in practicality, the system is really hard to work with, and I don't fit well with that system. My artistic mind was like, oh shit. Oh, basically midwifery was crazy. But I liked it. I don't regret it. But yeah, I've like explored extensively in all these different like realms. And my conclusion is when I was like meditating, so going back to my meditation, I was like meditating on the problems that I see and really kind of like not being really too sure if God was gonna swoop down and save us in the nick of time. Like as if spirits would materialize and just kind of fix these problems for us. Not really sure if that was going to happen. I definitely asked them too. I was like, in case we need it, swoop down and save us, just in case we need it. Like, well, I'm not so sure that they'll do that. Maybe they will. I don't know. I mean, I'm not like going to pretend that I know God's plan or something. I don't. But but yeah, I was meditating on this and I was like, how do we like what is a way like if I was like from the perspective of me being God, I was like, how do I save the world if I'm God but in a human form? And I was like, okay. And I was like just kept asking myself this question over and over again. And I was like, creativity, creativity. Save the world through creativity. So then art and war are the same thing, right? War and art, it's the same force. Take it from me, my name's Nicole here. Uh, Take it from a Nikki, I know war and art are the same thing. Art is like this creation, right? You create art and it then exists in the world. War is the same thing, except it's the opposite expression of what we're talking about, which is like this destruction, um, a complete destruction of stuff. So take it from somebody who was born from War and Oath that like it's the same thing. Art and war are the same thing. So more art, like art is the way that you can influence people, I think. So back to my vision board. I really, really, really want to have that house, to feel safe, to feel have those stable times in a stable chapter of my life so that I can have children in a way that is really conducive to childhood development. Another passion of mine. I'm really passionate about children. I want to have my own children. I want to have the experience of being a mother and taking care of children from babies all the way up. And I really want to do it in a way that is not stressful. I don't want to have the stress. Like, so working a 40-hour work week doesn't work if I'm going to be a mother. So, yeah, I would like to somehow be able to, whatever way that works, um, to have a house and financially stable and take care of children and be with them and spend a lot of time with them and help them to experience the world at their pace and to experience themselves and in a safe way, a loving family, a loving home, and art. I want to be able to work on art and to really dive deep into my own art, whatever medium, all sorts of different mediums, performance, singing, dancing, acting, visual art, um, all of it, and like even this authentic raw stuff as well. I want to have that for my life. And I want to experience luxury. I want to experience really great quality food, really great quality clothes. I want to experience great quality everything. Um, yeah, I think that's okay to ask for, by the way, like asking for abundance and praying for abundance. I think we all deserve abundance. Um, so I want that for all of us. Like my greatest wish for the planet, which I think inevitably is already true, but my greatest wish for the planet and for everyone is that everyone can do what they came here to do, like on their soul journey. I want everyone to be able to do the work that they want to do, that they find fulfilling. That's what I really want. I don't find my current role and the way my current life is to be all that fulfilling, and it's very scary. But I think that's part of my own journey as well. And like where I am right now is a gift from God. I try and frame it that way, anyways, for my sanity. But no, working a 40-hour work week as an engineer, um, it's there are things I like about my job, but there are things that I find very lacking, and it's a difficult trade-off. There's a song called 5 o'clock. Oh, what is it? Let me just quickly look it up. Excuse me while I go to my music and try and find this song that I listen to because it speaks to my soul. 5 O'Clock World by the Vogues. Yeah, Vogues. 5 O'Clock World by the Vogues. That song speaks to my soul. Like, it's about that 9 to 5 lifestyle. It is about the, like, there's a real cost to it. And it's not like you develop your skills and then you get into the niche and then you are that as your work. Um, that is like a cost to it, sort of. But there's another cost, which is that all the time that I'm spending at work, I'm not spending out in the garden. I've said this before. I want to be out in the garden all the time. All the time. And, I've told all my friends this and my family, and they are like, but no, cool. Like, they see it as an immaturity, like that I'm not willing to be face the responsibilities of life and the realities of life. I'm facing the realities of life. I have a job, okay? But my goodness, gracious me, sweet baby Jesus, save us all. This job is not like, oh, I just, I want to be on the garden. I don't think that's wrong, and I know what you'll say. I know you need to spend time after work putting the things into your life that you want that are for you. Yeah, I do. It's an endless treadmill of me trying to work on my routine constantly. It's tiring. I'm tired from work. I'm tired from my heart chakra not being fulfilled. So, like, I'm working on that too. And, like, I love you, Nicole, by the way. I love you. I love you a lot. And I will always be with you. And I really want to hold you. Okay? We got this, Nicole. I'm with you. I won't abandon you. But yeah, the world is scary. I'm not going to lie. And like, I'm not wrong about what I want in my vision board. So please, God, help me, guide me to being able to create that life for myself. Yeah. And please help everyone else to be able to create the lives that they want for themselves as well and to do whatever needs to be done in the highest good for all. Amen. And thank you, God, for being here with me. Also, I'm not really sure about the devil because I always think of like, okay, another tangent. Here we go. Um, well, come have a drink with me on the last day of 2022. I was about to say the last day of 2023. Whoa, foreshadowing. Um, yeah. So by the way, everything that you say is sort of like people think that they like mess up on things that they say. No, when you mess up on things that you say, it's your subconscious just poking its own like verbal stuff out there. So like, yeah, everything kind of has like I don't really believe in coincidences, but yeah, the coincidences are just the universe talking to you and you're talking back to it all the time, whether you know it or not. I like to be a little bit more aware of the conversation I'm having because I find it fascinating. Universe, talk to me, please. I really like to hear from you. Um, yeah, so oh crap, I completely lost what I was going to say. Oh, the tangents to the tangents to the tangents that go into a dead end tangent. I'm in a dead end tangent in my mind right now. Um, the world, meditation, creativity. Oh, my vision board, abundance, wanting good things for everyone. Um, my heart chakra and being brokenhearted. Oh, and healing myself. You can heal, Nicole, and loving myself and giving myself the love that I will crave and need to fulfill me. I love you. I want to give you what you need and what you want. Emotional connection. I feel your emotion and I'm connected to it. Um, yeah. spirituality, magic. Hmm, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so um yeah, I want that art lifestyle for myself. I really do. And I want my house to be like so beautiful and like a really like maybe like a 60s vibe to it or like in terms of like the layout of the house. But I still would go with white walls. That way I can decorate the way I want and not be confined. I want like great aesthetics. I want great music. I want access to education and sports and performance. And I want to spend a lot of time in my garden. I want to be in the garden. I mean, oh, that's what I was gonna say. There I go. I got it back. Um, yeah, like we're in this garden. Oh, I lost it again. Um, I want to be in the garden of life. Oh, my greatest wish is already happening. This is what I was gonna say. Okay, so um, yeah, like my greatest wish is that everyone's working on their soul journey stuff. Well, that's happening like all the time. So, wish came true. And also another wish, get to know yourself in all ways. That's also happening all the time. So great. Like inevitable for those things to come true. And I do really want to live with my twin flame. I know some people don't believe in that stuff, and that's okay. And I don't care what you believe, and I'm not so care like the metaphors and the concepts are what ring true to me. And yeah, I want to I want to have a partner that I can grow with, that we can teach each other and complement each other in a really beautiful and profound way that brings healing and comfort to both of us. Um, and I want to have adventures and I want to play with you. That's what I want. And I'm sorry, like sometimes I do like my mixed feelings about YouTube and making this like content is that I sometimes get nervous since like I can't control or even understand or know the audience since like I really am in my room alone talking to I'm looking at myself while I do this. Like I'm talking to myself, but I know that other people can see me and watch me and I like that. That's kind of the point so that I enter in through your subconscious into a collective subconscious. I do it through my own, but I'm doing it through anyone who sees my videos. So that's what I'm doing. And I want to like I'm scared sometimes of YouTube and like letting myself be open in this way because uh I'm just gonna like level with you. I had a scary experience where when I was meditating in my meditation practice where like all of a sudden this energy really hit me that somebody wanted to kill me and like it just really got to me like the energy like I felt it like I'm like ugh, like and I'm like, where did that come from? Um, I'm pretty like connected into like how I feel in energies and like the energies in my house. And so like I was like feeling that and I was like, oh, like is it somebody that watched me and saw me on YouTube? Um, I I don't know. Like so that's on my mind. That scares me. Or it could just be like a full out enemy that I made in real life. In which I mean, yeah, so hopefully I don't get murdered ever. I don't want to be murdered. I can include that in my vision board that I want to grow old. I want to grow old and have experience every part of the chapter of my life and what my body can do. So yeah. Um and I want to have a playmate. I want my playmate to be my twin flame. And uh yeah. To reach a like stable time where we both feel comfortable and both content and happy within ourselves and able to give ourselves the love that we need and then by extension then being able to actually love each other outside of ourselves is what I want. And yeah, and I want people to know my name for my art. I want other people to know my name and see me as an artist, I guess. Well, I mean, you can see me whichever way you want to see me. I don't know if I want to control how you see me or what judgments you make about me. That's all fine. Uh, but like having some kind of acclaim, I would like to have some kind of acclaim for my art. Yeah. So I want all those things. What else do I want? Is there anything else that I'm leaving out? I don't think so. I want to continue personally to like always be able to see and appreciate the beauty of that surrounds me and to be able to choose to connect to joy, the joy in the moment that exists in every moment from moment to moment. I want to let go of my fears and worries and insecurities and heal myself. I want to be a good force for the world. I want to be appreciated and I want to appreciate myself and I want to appreciate other people and I want to be grateful. I want to not be a complainer or focus on the negative, but rather focus on the good things in life that I want to keep and protect and help grow. Oh yeah, the devil and God. That was kind of what I was going to go to at some point. That I think that like in terms of spirituality, so this is a tangent and like a different topic, but uh the devil and God I think are real. And I kind of always thought of God as like far off in some castle in the sky and that he is looking down on us and sometimes feels disappointed in our actions when we're not doing things we're supposed to be doing. I don't think God's like that at all. I think God is a lot more closer than that. I think he sticks around and is like everywhere and really connected into us. Um, and I think that the devil is like that too. Sometimes I think that God and the devil are the same thing, just like different, like opposite expressions of the same thing. But I'm not so sure because, like, what if the devil is tricking me? It's possible that the devil could be tricking me. And I'm worried that the devil, because sometimes I feel like these devilish forces around me, and I'm like, but I also know that God's protecting me. But like, yeah, I feel these things, and like, like, I'm not sure what to make out of it at all. But it goes back to like Adam and Eve and like that story of the psychedelic fruit. Well, Eve ends up becoming the wife of the devil, but I think the devil is God. Or if it's not, then like we want to go with the classical, like what Catholic people believe in angels and fallen angels and that stuff. Well, then I can definitely say that Big God misses the devil for sure. Like I think so. I know I do. Like if you think of the devil, but like before he fell, well, he was the angel of music, like, and he was the most beautiful angel. So yeah, like sound like a pretty cool angel to be around. But then he really started to hate humans or something as the story goes. And but humans are just like on their own, like we're just on our own soul journey trying to figure out how to take care of this earth and ourselves and getting to know ourselves and having a good time while we do that. So it's a complicated game that we're playing here, but it is kind of fun and it's very useful and I'm committed to it. So here we are. Although I have prayed many times to take me home, and I definitely have taken some breaks from this existence because it's hard. But yeah, like blasting off to different dimensions so that I can take a break and go on a vacation from this three dimensional reality. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I do know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and I get that I might not be for everyone, and definitely just do what you want to do and go where your soul tells you to go, I guess, is good to do. That's what I try to do, anyways. Um, yeah, and I think that wraps up my vision board. Oh, and being able to play music like drum, having drum circles. You see my deer skin drum? I love it. It's a very like you beat it, it like really feels good to drum, and it's like this meditation thing tool as well. So yeah, yeah. So that's my vision board for 2023. Thank you for listening. Okay. Peace out, Girl Scout. I love you. I really do. And I hope that you know I love you and that I'm here, I'm alive, and I am well. And I hope that you are well. and I care about you, and I care about the world, and I care about myself, of course. Okay, peace out, Girl Scout. Have a good day. Bye.